Yeah, what happened to the intro, y'all? Like, but it's all good though. It's all good. Yo, we are back. 1 billion brave, okay? 1 billion brave. 1 billion brave. 1 billion. 1 billion brave. Welcome back to episode 17 of 1 billion brave. Good morning, good afternoon, good morning. Can y'all tell them hi? I just had a V8 energy drink, so I'm a little like I'm already always at like a 8, but like I'm at like a 9.7. So it's about to be a great day. You feel me? It's about to be a great day. All right, so we got to do the official introduction. Welcome to another episode of 1 Billion Brave. I am your host, Dōmo Jones. Kimberly, what up? How you doing? How you living? You good? You great? Good. I'm your host, Dōmo Jones. I do have a disability. Sure do. Sure do. And I am an author, a disability confidence coach, and I got a few little other things going on. If you don't know, watch episode 16 because you'll be in there. You'll know exactly what I do. Anyway, let's get to the house rules. Like, are y'all ready for the house rules? Good. So first, this show, Eric J, what up, thug? This show has no profanity. That's not how we get down. Why? Because there's so many words in the dictionary that we could use. So many words. I mean, like a plethora, dictionary wise. You're welcome. Number two, we bash no gender. We don't bash any religion. We don't bash any politics. We don't bash any of that. Why? Because we love everybody. 8 Town, love you. Also, from one blood he made all the nations. So pretty much we family. Like I got a cousin over there in Texas. I got an uncle. Like we kinfolk. What up? What up, fam? What up, fam? Grandma, I love you. Um, oh, hi Donnell. What up, cuz? Last thing. This is probably like the most important thing. We talk about Jesus Christ. Why? Because like he's like that's my main squeeze. That's my main squeeze. Without him, we are nothing. So he's definitely going to get all the accolades on this here show. This one. This show, he gonna get all the accolades. Cause that's my dog. That's my dog. Okay, so let's get into it. We about to do before truth be told. Whew, truth be told. Okay, so truth be told. Now, this is a fun fact about me. Did I play sports in high school, junior high? Yes. Like, what you mean did I play sports? Look at me. Look, what? Did I play sports? Not only did I play sports, I was a coach. Okay? Listen, a whole coach. No, y'all not biting it. Alright, fine, whatever. Okay, so I didn't play not a sport, no. Now let me tell you what I did do was I did play volleyball in high school. No, it was junior high. I did play volleyball in high school for about 3 weeks. And then I said, take me out, boss. Take me out. We good. Y'all be good. I'm going to go on and go over here. I'm going to go on and go over here. You want me to pick up a ball? Hey, Mom. Love you. Pick up a ball and do what? You want me to run? That ain't for me. That ain't for me. Stay in your lane. Okay? That's what it is. Stay in your lane. No, I did not play a sport. I don't even like being outside for too long because I'm allergic to too much stuff out there. Shoot. But what I did do was I was taking piano lessons. I did play the drums. Indoor things. Indoor. You know, medical classes. science classes, writing, reading, writing labs. Keep me indoors because it's safe and I don't have to break a bone or twist a foot or sprain an ankle. Safety is the best policy. Safety is the best policy. Okay, so listen. Speaking of sports, my next guest, uh, Mama Janice, we in there. I love you. Speaking of sports, like you guys are not even ready for my next guest. this this is family. This is family. Okay, are y'all ready? Because his story is amazing. Are y'all ready for my? I'm just so grateful. Kim Dorsey, I love you. Scottie, what up though? Well, I mean, Kenneth, Kenneth Scott.
What's going
Kenneth,
on?
what up,
Oh,
cousin?
whichever, it don't matter. What's going on?
What up though?
Dude, nothing much. Just chilling, man. Down in the H.
Yo, welcome so much for being a guest on the show. I mean, I'm too hype. I'm too excited that you're on here. Like one time for the one time.
Man, for real though, it's been a minute, man. So I'm excited to be on here as well.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into it. So take us to the journey. Well, first of all, where are you from?
So I was born in Texas, obviously, but I was California raised. So born in Houston, well, born in Galveston, raised in Houston, and moved to California. I'm in the Inland Empire. So that's why.
Let's go. So you're Texas? Okay, okay. Yo, okay, so take us back to um the journey of being first of all being a only child, but
Yeah.
having to deal with a mom that has an illness.
Yeah, so early on it was tough, especially when we moved from Texas to California. We moved in with my auntie Donita and
Yeah, I
obviously
knew that.
cousins Casey and Cameron. And so, when we first moved to California, it was different, but it allowed
Yeah.
us to get around some cousins and grow up a little. So about a year and a half afterwards, me and my mom decided to get our own place. Obviously, we lived it off Section 8 food stamps, her SSI checks and things of that nature. So
Yeah.
moved from San Bernardino to Rialto, and that's where we were in the Meadowlands, Club Royale, Linden Courts, things of that nature. And so that's where we stood our plant right there. And then, so growing up was tough. Had to kind of grow up faster than I wanted to because I had a mother that was sick. And so my main focus as far as, my mother was just to make sure she got everything she needed, whether it's emotionally, physically, whatever,
Yeah.
at rock for her through, times of uncertainty, so, so growing up was tough, but definitely lessons that, I needed to have so I can help me propel in my future life right now. So, but yeah, it was tough, but we overcame the adversity.
So what was the condition that your mom had?
Yeah, so my mother had lupus, specifically SLE. And so at times she would be very achy. Her body would be super fatigued.
Hmm.
She didn't really want to move a lot anyway,
Yeah.
especially when I got into sports. She would be out there walking around. By
Yeah.
get done sitting, her foot would be like swell up like some like sausages or something.
Really?
But she had lupus, and a lot of byproducts from lupus happened to her as well. So, but yeah, that was her main illness was lupus.
Lupus. So as a child, well, how old were you when your mom got the condition?
Yeah, so it's crazy. So not a lot of people may know, but before I was born, um, my mom was supposed to have another child. She had a miscarriage,
Mm.
and
Wow.
she had in a year prior, a year later, that's when I came in. When I was born, that's when her complications started. As far as
Okay.
and so that's when the diagnosis of lupus came. She began to get blood clots and seizures and things of that nature. And so early on, ever since I was born, that's all I knew of my mother. She was sick, and so, but yeah,
Man, that's crazy. So, yeah, you definitely had to grow up really fast. Okay, so you are not only, a product of someone, hey Shireen, I love you. You're not only a product of someone dealing with a medical condition, you were also a caregiver.
Yeah, basically, yeah, and yeah, I low
Yeah,
key,
like you was a real life caregiver.
yeah, I really was. I didn't honestly, this is the first time even thinking about that. I really was.
That's crazy. So how was it like? Okay, did you have to learn fast about the condition? Did you have to learn fast about like, okay, what your mom is able to do, what she can't do? Kind of.
And yeah, I had to take it all in, especially when she used to go to dialysis. Like she would tell me about her problems, but I act like I understood, but I really didn't understand.
Yeah, yeah.
I do now. And so I remember just going to dialysis with her at times, and she would have to go into the room for about 4 hours. 4 hours, and get the blood withdrawn from her to go to the machine to dialyze it, clean it, put it back into her. And so I was just sitting in the lobby, just waiting, just playing with my toys, watching the
Wow.
cartoons, and people checking in on me. And so I didn't really know the depth of it when I was younger, as I do now. So it's crazy
Yeah.
the adversity she went through, because I would have been gave up a long time ago.
Okay.
She was strong. Hey, she was strong.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you now. I knew Trish as like probably like high school. Yeah, I was knowing Trish for a long time, and she actually pushed me to
Mm,
keep going because I'm like, how are you dealing with all this stuff?
yeah,
And you just like, eh, brush it off like it's water on a duck's back.
yeah,
What? You over here? And I'm just like, man, she
yeah,
gave me so much, like encouraging words. So I know for you to see it on a daily, see like that fight, that
yeah,
definitely pushed you. So let's get into
yeah.
how you became an athlete. Like what pushed you to that part?
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. So I think I was about 9 years old. I was at my cousin Casey's football practice, sideline with my uncle Kevin. And I started catching the football with him on the sideline. And my cousin's coaches on the field, obviously, they saw me on the sideline catching football passes, and they were like, "Who is this kid?" And obviously, because of my circumstances, not being able to pay to play for sports, they were able to get me on a sponsorship program based on
Wow.
seeing from me on the sideline just catching the football, not
Yeah.
part of the team, to wanting me being on the team. And so I started playing sports at the early age of 9. And from there it just took on.
And that's like crazy. So um with you like playing sports and because you got like real big. Like I know you humble, like, but
Yeah,
you like a humble beast low key though.
yeah, I was fortunate. I was very fortunate. Uh, and what I always like tell kids, like, it wasn't really football for me that motivated me. It was just my mom, like, what I'm saying, just trying to get her in a better place and a better platform to basically get whatever she wanted. So like
Yeah.
I remember just times, us going to the store, she wants something, but she would put it on layaway. You know what I'm saying? Because she could.
Wow.
And so during those times, it was tough. And then me seeing that, I'm like, dang, how come we can't get it? And she like, yeah, it's just not the right time, things of that nature. But and I'm like, dang. And so those type of moments made me go harder, what I'm saying? And so especially,
Yeah.
and so when I got to, high school, and the doctor telling me my senior year, if I don't get my tibia healed, then they're gonna put a rod in my leg, and me missing the season, and I'm just top recruit. And the whole time during my recovery, I was just thinking about my mom. And she was just telling me everything gonna be all right. Just keep going, keep doing you. Everything gonna be all right. And then when I get into college, facing through those adversities of my various injuries, same message: keep going. Everything gonna be all right. And so it just allowed me to just keep my head down and then just keep propelling. Even when after college and I had the opportunity with the Los Angeles Rams and I ended up getting cut. She even told me, it's all right, you just keep going. And then I had
Yeah.
another opportunity professionally again with the CFL. And, unfortunately, she wasn't able to see me in that piece because she passed away right around the time when I signed my contract. But, my main message through all the sports was just everything gonna be all right. Just keep going and overcoming the adversity, and taking on every challenge, at face value, and leaping over that basically that wall of fear that I had. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
so,
like yeah. That's a high wall of fear. I mean, like, cause it's your mom, and you
yeah.
only have one mom,
Mm-hmm.
and for you, it's even more sacred because of the simple fact that your mom was ill, but she was still like encouraging you.
Yeah.
Even in her sickness, she was still like, "Yo, son, you got this. No, no,
Yep.
no, no, no. But you got this, though."
Yep, for real. It's crazy.
How was she able to, I know you said like there was a moment where she wasn't able to see you, but leading up to when you told her like, yo mom, I want to get into football,
Yeah.
um how was that conversation, knowing that your mom is ill, like having that in the back of your head, but telling your mom like, yo, I want to be in a football, like I may be traveling, all of that.
Yeah, it was cool, because the excitement that she shared, through those moments when I was on the field, I
Yeah.
hear her saying, "That's my baby," what I'm saying, things of that nature. And so, like when you're a young kid and that's all you want is just to see your mom happy, those are the moments you live for, making those big, plays so that she can be like, "That's my baby," because those
Yeah.
fuel her off the field, you know what I'm saying, to where she gossip and tell her friends like, "My
Yeah.
baby, whoopty whoop," and all that. Uh, so early on, that definitely helped a lot. Just seeing her and having her be my cheerleader on and off the field. So
Right.
that was cool.
Right. Was that kind of like your release because of the simple fact that you were a caregiver? So that kind of was like, I know for sure, if I'm not mistaken, that probably was like in the forefront of your mom, just making sure your mom is good. But the
Yeah,
times when you were away from her, was football kind of your like release to
yeah,
just live in that moment?
yeah, definitely. Man, I told this story on ESPN one time. Um, man, it was I I kind of um, had a hatred towards football after I got done playing, because just the simple fact that there's many times, especially in college, my mom would always want me to come home, and I'm like, I can't, mom, what I mean, because I got football, and this and that, and it seemed like I was putting football ahead of my mom, even sick.
Mm,
And so at times, after I got done playing football, to me became like a burden. And I was like, dang, if I didn't play football, I would have spent more time with my mom. Maybe that
right.
was memories, whatever, what I'm saying? So um, later in life, I felt football was more of a burden. Uh, but again, on the opposite side, it wasn't, because it provided her a network of people that connected with her, like as far as the fan bases,
Right. Right.
connecting with my mom, and them going in her DMs asking about certain things. I remember when my mom, like the stories about my mom, articles being written about me. People hearing about my mom's situation and how we grew up, and people reaching out to my mom, and my mom was like a local celebrity. Like everybody reached out to my mom. She was like
Yeah.
mom of everything.
Yeah.
So that's what it's weird. Like I have this love-hate relationship towards football when it comes to that.
Man, yeah, I can see that. Like I can definitely see that. I think that like the struggle is you want to be able to live your life,
Yeah.
but it's hard to really live it comfortably and live in that moment when you know back home you have someone that's kind of needing you.
Yeah, it
You
was tough.
can't really like get into it all the way.
Yeah, so like when at my senior year and I was choosing the college I wanted to go to, actually I committed to the University my junior year in high school, and my mom was pissed. She was like, and she was so pissed she called the coach that I thought I was gonna come to the school. She calling him,
You're
hey,
not playing.
he was not playing. She said, "How dare you accept a commitment from a 15-year-old and whoop de whoop?" And I'm like, "Mom, chill. You're gonna have my scholarship taken away." Like,
Yeah, yeah.
chill. But I didn't realize, I'm her baby, and so like I'm everything to her. And so me leaving, especially, a couple states over, when I did have
Right.
options to stay in state, it kind of hurt, because it's like, dang,
You leaving me? Like, why
yeah.
you leaving me?
And so, that moment was crazy.
Nah, like that. And I can see just like, nah, we switch, nah.
Nah, this
I
ain't.
can, nah, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work for
Yeah.
me. Forget about everybody else. That ain't gonna work for me.
Yeah, for real.
Okay, so let's get into the pivot of when your mom was declining,
Yeah,
and what, like, where were you? What happened in that scenario when you kind of found out that your mom was getting worse than she was?
man. It's crazy. So uh, it was around the time I was in Salt Lake City, Yeah, I was in Salt Lake City. I was out there just working,
Yeah.
train to head to Montreal to play in the CFL. And it was right before Christmas. It was about a couple of days before Christmas. And I had went out there to see my mom because she got admitted to the hospital. And because she, the reason why she got admitted to the hospital that time was because, she was using the bathroom on herself. And she was having a lot of problems with her body being achy and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And so I went out there to visit her, and I was just in the hospital with her the whole time. And I remember this like yesterday, and didn't really dawn on me until after she passed away, because during that time I was there before Christmas, she said, "Hey, I want you to go spend Christmas with Brittany, right? My wife." So I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, cool. That's cool. I'll go spend Christmas with her," and he was like, "Cool, because I don't want you, in here. I'm still in the hospital. I don't want you. I want you to spend some quality time with your family." And so I was like, "Cool." So I went to Christmas, spent time Christmas over there in Oregon. Then I went back to Salt Lake City right after that because that's where I stayed. And I remember she was on the edge of getting out of the hospital. She was rehabbing. I
Yeah.
remember her sending me a video of her cutting pancakes and had bacon on the side. I'm like, "Hey, I'm finally eating. Doctor said
Yeah.
released tomorrow." And so, I texted her back later on that night, just cheering up, like, "You got this, you good, boo, boo, boo. I love you,"
Yeah.
so forth. And then literally about maybe 5, 6 hours later, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, my auntie Donita called me. And I was like, "Dang, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Why is she calling me so late?" And so I picked up the phone, and that's when she told me, she was like, "You're gonna need to get out here right now. Your mom is not doing too well." I was like, "Whoa, what's going on?" So the family I was staying with in Utah, which is my scholarship donor family, they bought me a plane ticket, first class, out of there.
Wow.
One of the greatest people I've ever encountered. Anything,
Yeah.
me, myself, my mom, even my kids, whatever, they got it for me. They always been that way since day one, since I stepped foot at the Utah campus. And so they purchased my plane ticket to go home, to go see my mom. And so that moment right there, I got a whole bunch of emotions rising in my head. I don't know what's going on, because the thing with my mom, this isn't the first time she's been in the hospital in some type of crazy situation like that. So I'm like, okay, I know it's crazy, but I also seen her
You
many
used
times.
right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's like,
Right.
I know she good. I know she good. I hear you, but I know she good. And so when I got there, she was just sitting there, and the doctor was saying how she can hear me, but she can't speak or anything. Like, she was just sitting
Mhm.
there, in a vegetable state. She can hear me though. And so at that time, I'm like, "Dang, what's going on here?" And so that's when all the family come out there. And so I think um, the craziest part in my life specifically is me having to make that final call. It was tough. I'm like, "Dang, did I make the right decision?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or should I have gotten the surgery on her brain to where because the doctor said you can either pull the plug and she goes off pain free, or you can get the surgery on her brain, because she was brain dead at that time. They had to drill a hole or something like that in the brain to where the blood comes out or whatever, drain the blood, and then, but if it's successful, she'll be a vegetable. She won't be able to talk. She'll just be sitting there. And I was like, "Dang, I know my mama, and I know that she would hate that. That would be worse than anything." And so, but on the opposite, so obviously we chose to pull the plug. And at that moment, I didn't know whether I made the right decision. Like, did I, because she always pulled through. So it's like, "Dang,
Right.
did I make the right decision?" So that's just something I battle with from time to time, and I don't know. So yeah,
You about to make me cry.
yeah.
Man, cause that right there, that okay, so how old were you when, cause that's like that decision right there. I mean, that's your mom,
Yeah,
and you want the best for your mom, but the reality is I want my mom to stay.
yeah, for
I have
real.
so much life that I need. I got so much to tell her. It's just so many emotions. How old were you when you had to make that final call?
I was So this was 2000, December 29, 2016. So I was 24, 24.
Wow.
Yeah, 24.
24. Whew. So, man, that
Yeah,
that's
that
hit.
was
That hits.
that
That
was
hits.
that was the toughest decision that I probably will have to make. I mean, that I probably will ever make.
Yeah.
Do you know?
After, so who was anyone there with you when, when the doctor told you, like, okay, you actually have to make this decision? Did you talk about it? Did you talk it through? Like, what was that moment looking like?
Man, it was Donita. Donita pulled me to the side and asked me, it was like, so what do you want to do? I'm gonna leave this in your hands as far as
Yeah.
you know what you feel like is the best choice for her. And so, me and Donita, we talked it through, all the options, and we just figured, what was best for her at that
Yeah.
was to be pain free.
Right.
Yeah. Uh,
That's the biggest thing, because I mean, like, if the reality is, if she was here, she wouldn't even be herself.
right.
That would be more work for you and the family,
Hmm.
and you would have to kind of see your mom in a state that she's not even in.
Right. Exactly. And then
She's not even in.
that would have hurt me even more
Right.
seeing her.
Saying that, man, that, yeah. Okay, so gosh, that just whew, yeah, that's a big decision at 24.
Mhm.
But I definitely commend your strength, because everybody won't, first of all, a lot of people won't be able to make that decision, one. But two, everyone still wouldn't be in a sensible mindset after making that decision.
Right.
Like, you're still here.
Yeah.
That's one. You ain't lost your mind. You didn't go to a sane asylum. You didn't lose it.
Yeah. Yeah.
After I definitely commend you, for
Yeah.
real.
I mean, I'll be honest, a lot of tough days, tough nights, especially when you're thinking about that type of stuff. It's like, dang, and I'm seeing a therapist, and some of the topics that we discussed was, I just, for me, I'm like, I'll be trying to, I don't know, man. I get it from my mom. Like,
Yeah.
I act like sometimes I try to be too tough, you know, and it weigh on you, like, you know what I'm saying. And so sometimes I don't know. I just get it from her, like, you know what I'm saying. I try to be too tough. I don't really show a lot of emotions, and so my grieving process is probably different than a lot of people. Um, and so at times, like, my girl will tell you, she'd be like, "You're not yourself at times. I'm reserved. Um, I don't really affection. I don't really show much affection, really." Um, and so I have to like figure out how to like reconnect. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to the therapist. She was just saying, I never get my time to breathe. I mean, grieve. I never get myself time to grieve. And so, that's what I'm doing. I'm working on that, working on myself, um, getting back to it, because the one thing that probably hurt me the most is, my mom always talked about like how she wanted, like kids, like wanted me to have kids. You know what I'm saying? And I remember before she passed away, she would always, because she got involved into another relationship, and the relationship she was in, the daughter had a grandchild, and the grandchild was a girl. And so, me having girls myself, it hit me, because it's like I see all these videos and pictures of her holding a baby, a girl, and
Yeah.
like my girls would never get to. And so, that's tough. And so, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, like, you're I don't cry. I'm not a crier. Like, and
Yeah.
you got me in my emotions because I feel your heart, but I also feel that you're trying.
Trying.
You
Yeah.
know, it's like Kim Dorsey said, it's one step at a time. Just the fact that you still are choosing to push and to want to get better, not only for yourself, for your family, for your wife, for your daughters. It hurts. You know,
Yeah.
that's real. Like, forget all the fluff, forget all the this my mom. You feel me? Like, this is my mom. And there are people that have their mom. I don't.
Right.
You know, that's the real. Like,
Real.
y'all got your mom. And this all happened during the holidays.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing. That's another added brick to the pain.
Yeah.
And we're not fluffing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the fact that you're you're wanting to get help, and you're actually going through the process of getting therapy. You're realizing, like, there are some things that I'm still, grieving about.
Yeah.
And I commend you so much. A
Appreciate.
lot of people don't know what that looks like. You know,
Yeah.
they don't know.
It's crazy because in the hallway of our house, there's like we have a multitude of pictures on the wall, and one of them
Yeah,
was actually one that you showed just recently about my mom. It was after a game. It was my mom and me, and we was hugging on the side, and that's
yeah,
what I have up. And so I was holding my oldest daughter, Brooklyn, and I was going through the pictures, and I be asking, "Who's that? Who's that?" It'd be her. Like, "Oh, that's me." And then one day it tripped me out, and I was trying to test her. I was like, "Who's that?" She was like, "Grandma." It almost took me out because I was like, "Dang," yeah, it almost took me out.
and cause like she knows, but she's not even able to physically see, hear, touch, feel, like the memories, man. That
It's crazy, man, and that's like one of the inspirations of me wanting to put the book out because that's just memories for Brooklyn and Kinley. So like later on in life, they can be able to see what their other grandma was like,
yeah,
or who she was, and that
right,
so that's tough, especially on me. And then like another thing is too, like growing up, like you said, majority of my childhood was me and my mom, and my real father, I never really had a connection with him. I still don't. And so it's like once my mom passed, it's like, dang, I felt like I was like an orphan because
mm,
I didn't, I,
wow,
I didn't really. My mom's gone. I don't have a connection with my dad. So like, who, what I'm saying? So it was like at that moment, like, dang,
who you
who?
got, like,
Yeah,
who you connected
you know what
to.
I'm saying? And so, and man, it definitely hit me because I was like, man. And so that's another thing I'm working on in therapy too, as far as, those relationships, especially with and my mom, my real father, and then also my stepfather, Theo. I was one key relationship. Honestly, to me, that was probably the most key relationship that I had because he stepped in when I was trying when I needed a father, really,
Yeah,
and he stepped in and he did what he had to do. Obviously, things wasn't roses and bubbles and sunshines and things of that nature,
right,
but like the core of the things that he taught me is the reason and who I am today. You know what I'm saying? And so, it's crazy because I hadn't talked to him about like after my mom passed. I haven't talked to him since like 2014, and recently, and that's one of the things that my therapist was asking was like, well, you're trying to talk to your dad, trying to gain a connection, but obviously that ain't doing too well, and you're missing another layer of the person you need to connect with. And it was baby steps at first.
yeah,
Reach out, and then I don't know what happened. I don't know what it was, but like he had texted me like literally after my appointment last week, texted me and was like, "Hey, I'm going to be in Fort Worth, Texas, and I would love to see you." And so I was
wow,
like, nah, that's crazy. Like how? Like I don't know. Maybe it's the universe. I don't know what it was. It was just, and so that being able to talk to him and like express feelings that was bottled up for so long, that was just encapsulated, and being finally able to like twist off that top and just like let it all out, and obviously him letting things out as well, and being able to come to like combine that was
Yeah.
powerful for me, because I needed that. And for so long I was just avoiding it because of certain mishaps that happened, between just between us in our life. And so it's just crazy to me how I don't know who said one step at a time, but literally that's what my therapist said too. Is like, hey, because I was it's funny because after my therapy I opened up the message and was about to text him,
Yeah.
like randomly. I was going to text him, but I didn't send the message. I closed the app. I didn't send the message, and
Yeah.
just so happened the next day at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning he texted me, and I was like, wow, that's crazy.
That
And
was God. Like
it was.
it ain't no, it ain't, there is no other way, because nobody knew what you were about to do, and
Yeah,
nobody knew what he was about to do.
right.
That was God. Like that was it, because God knew that you guys both needed that.
Yeah, for real.
You both, that's the realistic of it. You guys both needed it.
Hmm.
And it's not by coincidence that it happened right when it happened. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't that ain't no crystals, that ain't happenstance. Like that's all God. And he knew who needed what at what time, what they needed, and who the specific person they needed to hear it from.
Yeah, and
That's
it felt amazing after that. Like,
yeah. And
and
that was a push for you.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That's another, motivation. That's another inspiration. That's another determination to push even further.
mhm.
It's almost like I'm where I'm at right now. I'm kind of tapped out, but then you get it. But then you get like that boost, like, okay, let's go.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, this is how we moving, God. This is how we moving.
Yeah, yeah.
I, what other wall we need to get over real quick?
Listen, okay. Like what else? What else you got? Because
Yeah.
I obviously know, like you kind of hear me a little bit. Like I'm kind of not by myself.
Right. Exactly. So
Yo, I get it. I love that. I definitely love that. Um you did mention, you put a little plug in your book, but we gonna delve into it. Like let's delve into this book. What you got cooking, bro?
man, I can't wait. So the book is titled 24, because that's the amount of years since the diagnosis of her illness till she passed. So that was 24-year span.
Wow.
But it also is an analogy of the amount of hours in a day that you need to live life to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? So because my mom
On.
was about, every moment
What
she
you
was
thinking?
party, you know what I'm saying? So every moment she maximized. And so I named it 24, and then the subtitle is My Life's Journey Through Being a Mom, Lupus, and Kidney Transplant. So it touches on all those elements throughout her story. So it's a
Love
memoir.
it.
It's not chronologically done, it's a memoir. So it's just specific events in her life, um, that she wanted the world to hear. And the crazy thing is, if it wasn't for Theo, this would have never happened.
Wow.
Because in 2014, the latter part of their relationship before they divorced, he told my mom for like 3 years, you should write a book. You need to write a book. You need to start writing. You got people out there that want to hear your perspective, especially on
Facts.
all that. But my mom was stubborn. She didn't want to listen. And she was like, nah, nobody want to listen to me and wooty woo. He was
I've
like,
been there. I've been there.
he was like, just do this for me. Just write a book, right? Start writing in your journal. And so that's what she did. She wrote in her journal. I still got both the journals in my
Love
drawer.
it.
And because of that, that's the reason why this is here. So basically what happened is she put it in black and white. All right. She just was jotting down thoughts, ideas, certain moments, key points in her life that she felt needed to help people. And basically that black and white script, I just added color to it. That's all I did.
Love it.
You know what I'm saying? To make it to where, it is. And so I'm excited. It's right now as it stands, it's 13 chapters in it right now, but it just goes through literally from the miscarriage, cervical complications, lupus diagnosis, blood clots and seizures, her starting dialysis, how she got a stroke and it put her into a coma. The doctor told her she had 72 hours to live, and that my grandmother should start making funeral arrangements for her, and then somehow, some way, I don't know how God happened, and she woke up like on the 72-hour time frame. It's crazy, crazy, crazy.
She said, "Nah, we ain't done yet. I got stuff to do."
And so it just goes into details about all that, her mindset, her perspective, like how her feelings and emotions was during that time. Then how we moved to California, how we was dead broke. We living in public housing off of her, Section 8 and SSI checks, and how I never complained about the material things. I didn't care, and going on the transplant list and getting her kidney after the second. It just goes through all that, and it also talks about her love life, which is awesome. Yeah. So it not only talks about her illness, it also talks about her love life, and she drops gems. When she dropped some gems about some like relationship stuff, I said, "Ooh!" I was like, "I'm about to steal that." And about her relationship, and I thought it was dope. And the final message of the book was very impactful, and so I can't wait to till it's out there so people can be able to read it.
Listen, all I'm saying is I want my copy on deck.
I got you.
Because I cannot wait. Like, that book sounds amazing. I cannot. 24, like, let's go. Yeah. Let's go. Okay, so you got the momentum.
Yeah.
Do we have a date? Like,
yeah. So the release date is going to be on her birthday. I figured the best gift to her is her own book. So it's obviously I'm a co-author, but it's basically her book. So I felt like that would have been the greatest gift that I can ever give her. So it's going to be released on her birthday. So her birthday is February 20th. So
let's go.
Be released.
Let's go. 2022.
Oh, it's crazy too. So when I first mentioned on Instagram about me putting out this book, I had so many women in my DMs as far as not like crazy, like I know
the way because
set that up.
Because
I had so many people in my DMs about, man, thank you for sharing that because I have lupus. And I was like, whoa, I never knew. Like there's some, like I grew up with this one girl since we were like in elementary school, and I didn't even know she had lupus. And she was like, man, this touched me. I can't wait to read your mom's book. I've been dealing with lupus myself, and I just want to hear other people's perspectives. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. And then some other people talking about, man, this whole time, I was ashamed of me saying I had lupus, but I'm crazy. And so I'm trying to get to Oprah. Let's manifest.
Okay, you feel me? For such a time as this. So listen, let me tell you something, because you already know, like I've been saying, everybody that's been listening to my show since episode 1, y'all already know I've been saying, Oprah, where you at? You feel me? You feel me? Yeah. So when I see Oprah, or when you see Oprah, just know it's been set in stone. We about to manifest that thing.
Woo!
We about to manifest that thing.
I'm tagging.
Okay, y'all hear it. Y'all hear it. It's for such a time as this. I love. I'm excited.
It's gonna happen.
I'm excited, Scottie. Like I cannot wait. I am so supportive of your future. Like they don't know. So when you blow up, you can be like, nah, bro, like I got receipts. Like I've been through some stuff. You feel me?
I've been through this. Yeah.
I ain't new to this. I'm true to this.
Yeah. Big facts.
Period. Like I love it. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. You already know, like I'm with you 100%.
Appreciate it.
Don't stop.
Got you.
Do not stop. Like you're just getting started, and you ain't even like fully there yet. And you are look how far you've come. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm I'm with you 100%. You already know, like, I'm a phone call away.
Yeah,
When
facts.
you get to I've I've been on the medical side,
Yeah.
and I know what that looks like, and I also know what it looks like to keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I got you.
Right. Big facts. One call away, we good.
One call away, one text away. You don't even matter the
Yeah.
time. Like, just hit
Yeah.
me up, because you already know you got a support system. You got people behind you. You
Man.
got people behind you holding you up, and you got people behind you pushing you.
Big facts. I appreciate
Point
that.
blank and a period.
Yeah.
Like, that's just
Amazing
it. Like,
part. Everything. Yeah.
ain't nothing else. Ain't nothing else behind it. Like,
Right.
thank you again so much for being a guest on the show.
No problem.
Um, I'm so grateful that I hit you up like, yo, can you do it? You said, let's go, lock me in.
Yeah.
Like, there was
Without a
nothing
doubt.
else after.
That's it. Without a doubt. Hey, I appreciate you just for allowing me on your platform. This is inspiring itself because, you know, a lot of people, like I said earlier, for the longest time, I wanted to do something like this. It makes me nervous at times, but, watching you and other folks, it's like, dang, it's inspiring and motivating to want to get on a platform like this to touch many people and share stories. That's
Yeah.
what life is all about. It's all about, sharing stories. I firmly believe the two greatest storytellers of all time for me is, my grandmother Momo and my grandmother Pi. They're the two best storytellers, and I always take their stories and, whenever I go speak at places and encapsulate it in one message because of that. So, and stories are powerful.
Period. Listen, you already know, Grandma on there. Grandma just like, I got you,
Yeah.
Scottie. I got you, grandson.
And you don't understand though, like, times when my grandmother, like, you know, man, man, it almost got me teared up.
You got it, Scottie. It's all good. Like, this
Um,
is this is a
you
safe
know,
haven.
man, my grandmother Momo, like, man, she's like, man,
That's love.
man, like, I don't really, like I said, I don't really show my feelings a lot a lot of times, and so like when I do get emotional, like I get emotional, you know what I'm saying? And so
It's all good.
I think because I just be holding it in, but like my grandmother, it's awesome because ever since we were younger, she always opened that door for us to sit down with her, talk through anything. It don't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Just having conversations with her. On the we be out on her at her house on the back porch, just sharing stories, and it's a beautiful thing. I just remember her telling me stories about how she grew up, and about her mother, her father, and then basically how this family came about, and it amazes me at times. I'm like, man. And then me personally, I want her to write her own book too, because I think it's so powerful, because it just encapsulate family. That's what it is. Every person that I think I get my personality from her as far as like being social, outgoing, like
Yeah.
people. I love talking to people. I think I get it from her because that's who she is. And so,
Yeah.
man, having those conversations where I think she should have her own podcast and just be on back porch talking
Period.
something. We'd be outside, she'd be drinking her Chardonnay or whatever it is. We just be
And
having
just talking, just talking, like, it's beautiful.
yeah, man. It's flow genuine. It's loving. It just does something to you, man. And it's been like
Yeah.
years, and it's amazing, And for me personally, I have a great support system, with family, because me moving to Houston, it wasn't really something I wanted to do, honestly, because I wanted
Yeah.
to city because brand name or whatever. But
Right.
moving to Houston was big for me because I needed to get back to my roots, and my roots was my Houston family, my grandmother, my auntie Wendy, and things like
Wendy, she on here.
that.
She on here.
And so it's crazy. I don't want to get too deep into the book, but my mom was explaining that to me. During my early years of life, when my mom was in and out of the hospital when we was living in Texas, there were
Yeah.
so many sacrifices being made. As far as my grandmother and my auntie Wendy.
Right.
So, like,
It's cool. It's cool. We got you. We got you, Scottie. Like, we got you.
like for me, it's like reading that stuff that my mom said about them, and like it does something to me. It's like, man, there's nothing I can like. They sacrificed so much for me, and I didn't even know. The it felt like for me, it felt like I was a burden, but I wasn't a burden to them. Like it felt like
Yeah.
because I'm someone that they had to take on as a responsibility because my mom was in and out of the hospital. Even though I wasn't a burden, I just for me it felt like it was because
Mhm.
my auntie, she wasn't able to chase her dreams and go to college. So so it's like little things like that, like to where if I could, I wish I could do so many things for her. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, but yeah, it's just talking about like when I left Texas, California, my mom explained how hurt both of them were because I was their baby. I mean, I'm the favorite in the family as far as a child concerned, but
I mean, I mean,
but I
letting
was
people know.
yeah, I was their baby. And so, coming back to Houston was something I definitely needed. And it's just weird how, now seeing my daughters with both of them, you know, uh, it's amazing. It definitely is amazing. And, it's a lot of sacrifice being made with family. Like when we moved to California,
Yeah,
we moved with Donita and them, and they took care of us. And so, family is everything. And I think that's
that
one
means everything.
why I needed to move back to Houston to feel my, that family root.
I mean, it goes back full circle. You never know. Kendall says it all the time. There's a scene behind the scene. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? So it's beautiful that you were always supported.
Yeah, for real.
You were always supported.
Yeah,
And it's a reminder and it's a testament just to let you know that you're not alone. Like you
right,
got people, like I said, you got people that's holding you up and you
right.
got people that's pushing you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's it. That's all. So when you have those moments when you feel like, yo, why am I doing this? Or am I doing this right? Or what's it all for? I mean, it's a reminder to let you know, like, you're doing it, one, because you don't have no choice.
Right.
Two, because people are relying on you
Yeah.
just to be you. People are relying on you. And it's just a reminder just to let you know that God, God got you. Your family ain't gonna leave you.
Right.
And it's for a reason, for such a time as this.
Right. That's real. And
For such a time as this. Like,
yeah.
if you don't remember nothing else from
Yeah.
this episode, it's a testament for such a time as this.
Mm-hmm. That's real.
That's it. That's all. That's
Mike.
it. That's all. Like your family, they love you. You know what I'm saying? Like they love you, and they didn't do it for obligation. They did it because they love you.
Yeah. For real.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah. Mike drop.
And people need to hear it from your view. And that was the reason why. And wait, set aside all the other stuff. Let's love on Donita real quick, because
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about you at first. Like I wanted to interview Donita.
Oh, really?
And yeah, like I wanted to interview Donita in the sense of what was her viewpoint and
Mm-hmm.
what was her journey
Yeah.
being a caregiver as a sister.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She was like, hit up Scottie.
Yeah. That's
I
crazy.
said, yo,
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it. You know what I'm saying? So again, people got you.
Crazy. It is.
People got you. Donita was the one. Donita was the one that put that bug in my ear to think about you, because I love thinking about people. I love the underdogs.
Yeah.
Like the people that don't even be thought, that's never thought about.
Mhm.
Those are the ones that I want to interview. And the beautiful thing is, I love your honesty, and I love your openness, and I love your vulnerability. It's okay to cry, bro.
Yeah, I had to shed a couple thug tears.
Yeah, like,
That's right.
listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it, and that's the authenticity of it, and that's what this show is about.
Definitely.
That's what this show is about. cry, be vulnerable, be open, because that is what people want to know. Like, can you relate to me?
You ain't lying. You ain't lying. It's crazy because and I'm sorry for keeping this conversation going, but you know, for,
Listen,
for the longest,
we need it.
now that I look back at it, now that I'm going through therapy and stuff like that, I wish um, my mom would have went through some type of therapy, because there was
Mm,
days, nights where she was just stressed, crying all the time, depressed, anxious, just so many range of emotions that she didn't really know how to cope with it. And the only way
yeah,
she knew how was to keep it inside internally. And every time whether I was in the other room, and our walls are super thin and I can hear her, cry, I would go in, knock on the door, and then you can just hear her be like, yeah, what's going on, Scottie? Trying
wow,
you know, suck it in and be tough, which
yeah,
to her, it felt like, she needed to be tough. And I think that's where I get it from. But then
mm,
as I got older, I'm like, I wish she was a little more open with me about her feelings, her emotions,
yeah,
so that I can be able to, you know, be of some type of support so she won't have to handle all that herself.
right.
If there was something that I wish my mom could have done a little bit differently, was to be a little bit more vulnerable when it came to her emotions. And that's something,
Hmm.
and it's crazy because that's something I deal with personally, like right now, and that's what I've been saying. And so that's why
Yeah.
I sought out therapy to help me with that, because um, you can't be you can't be a superhero all the time.
You can't be a superhero all the time.
Yeah, so
It's okay not to be okay, and it's okay to have those moments to where you're like, yo, I need help.
yeah, big facts.
The
Yeah.
helper needs help, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate um just your vulnerability, even just to let people know, like, yo, I need therapy, yo. And not only do I need therapy, I'm in therapy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like to talk about, they think having a therapist and wanting help and needing help is a lack, but it's not. That's your strength. You feel me?
My therapist cool.
Your therapist cool. That's the therapist out there.
Cool, man. She
She
like,
never wanted to burden you. Danny said she never wanted to burden you. She always felt like she relied on you too much.
yeah, yeah,
It's those little subtle reminders. You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely um thank you. I you don't even understand, like,
yeah.
this episode right here, it touched me because with G Dōmo, you and G Dōmo, like, don't even cry. And um it helped me because I saw Trish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw Trish, and I saw her hurt,
Mm-hmm.
but I also saw her strength.
Yeah.
And I saw the push. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, dang,
Yeah.
people don't even know. I never knew how much she was hurting, but I always knew that she did it because she wanted you to see that you can do it too.
Mm-hmm.
You
Push.
know what I'm saying? Like she wanted you to see that you can still fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, although it hurts, she didn't want you to hurt.
Right. That's real. She's trying to protect me.
That was literally it. And that's a beauty of a mom's love.
That's real.
And the older I get, it's like the more I'm seeing, like, dang, like, mamas, aunties, grandmas,
Mm-hmm.
y'all the real heroes.
For real. And it's still is and that's why when I talk to people, I always tell them, the women in my life definitely shaped everything for me. And that's why I hold women to such a, like, pedestal, like,
Yeah.
because I see the strengths in all of them. And so because women impacted my life in ways that I couldn't even imagine. So
Right.
anytime I try to speak of a woman or anything, it's always trying to empower them, to show them that they're more than said situation, more than this, more than that, just truly, empower them. And so I definitely believe women are the center of, I guess, attention when it comes to, power, especially for me in my life.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like, you listen, I'm gonna tell you something. These comments are just a testament to let you know how dope your mom was. Like, your mom left a statement, bro.
Yeah, she walked out.
Your mom left a huge statement. Just her presence alone
Yeah.
um was just a reminder, like, what you're going through, it ain't really that bad.
Yeah, big facts.
Because if Trish could do it,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear not one person complain about an elbow hurting. You feel me? Like,
For real. You ain't
you
lying.
don't feel good.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
get
real.
your tail up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All
It's
right.
like when you saw Trish, it was like whatever you dealing with meant nothing.
Right.
Because Trish was such the fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just like Trish was just the fighter, but then the fact that you were such a fighter,
Yeah.
it was like, man, y'all ain't dealing with nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So again, I commend you for your vulnerability. I commend you for even wanting to just share your truth and your version of what that looked like from your eyes. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely appreciate, and I'll never take this opportunity for
Yeah.
granted. Like, I will never. I don't care. You
Yeah.
younger than me, I don't care. Like, I commend your strength.
Thank you. I'm a huge storyteller. I guess I get it from my grandma's. But one of the things, that I tend to remember as far as when I was growing up is, we be in grocery stores and obviously we buying everything off our food stamp. I just remember
Yeah,
one day where like we were in line, there was someone in front of us that obviously couldn't pay for their stuff. And so my mom was like, "Hey, look, I can put a couple things back so you can be able to get a little bit about what you do." And I'm looking at my mom like, whoa. We got to talk about this
hold up,
first.
play it right.
Like, you're not dealing with your money, you dealing with mine too. But, that's just the type of person she was. She always looked out for others when it came to anything. And so she cared for people. She loved people. She was loyal to people. And something that's very admirable about her. She always put others in front of herself, which is,
Right,
I always admired about her, which was cool.
man. Trish, we love you.
Right? Hold on to the food.
Like you still here, bro.
Right?
You're still here, in your presence. I loved your mom. Like, I loved your mom, and I looked up to her so much, and I respected the fact that although she was hurting, she was in pain, she didn't have her good days,
Yeah.
she still wanted to live and wanted to fight another day because she knew, I got a son, bro.
And man, that's crazy. You said that exact words. That's what she kept on saying when she was fighting stuff. And I was like, dang. Like, actually, like, I heard of the stories, but actually reading it from her, I was like, wow, that's crazy.
That's it.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Again, thank you
No problem.
so much, for sharing and being open, and just letting people know, it's okay to not have good days,
Yeah.
but it's also okay to get therapy.
Yeah. 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 I've definitely became an advocate of working on yourself, um,
Yes.
without a doubt.
Dania said he was her reason. Okay.
That's my girl, man. That's yeah. She ain't gonna say she was. She is.
Yep.
My everything. So for sure.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Let's go. I love this episode. Thank you so, so, so much again. I definitely appreciate it. I cannot wait for 24 to be out next week.
Yeah. I can't. Man, it's like an album dropping.
Right. Boom. I was dropping February 2022. Be on the lookout. You feel me?
Dude, I got this album dropping now. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. Oh man.
It's gonna be out top of the year.
Yeah.
Okay, so you already know. Are you ready for the before you go?
Ah, shoot. I got no other
I
choice.
know you forgot about it.
Let's get it.
Okay, so the before you go is, would you rather? Are you ready for it, Scott?
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Okay. Would you rather fight 1,000 fifth graders or fight one WWE professional wrestler?
Hey, I'm gonna fight the WWE wrestler just for my ego. Cause if one of them fifth graders just happened to just knock me out cold, I ain't trying to go viral.
Listen,
Got knocked out by a fifth grader. Oh,
listen,
I'm taking my chances on the WWE guy. Maybe
because you know them fifth graders are good at hitting the knee.
You know what I'm saying? I can't get knocked out. I'll be on World Star or TikTok, whatever the new thing is. I'll be on there going viral. I can't have that. So I'm going.
Nah. If you're gonna go viral with a bang. You feel me?
For real. Oh
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you again so much for being a guest on the show. I definitely appreciate it. I love you.
Love you too. Appreciate it.
You know, we family for life.
Man, you already know.
We
For real.
family for life. I cannot wait to see what's in your future. Please, everyone, stay connected to Scottie. Like, please, everyone, get therapy. If you need it, it's all right. You feel me?
For real.
It's all right. Thank you again so much. I love you. Gabe gonna put you in a bag.
Love you too. I'm out.
Love you. You like, this is how 1 billion brave gets down. That story. Oh, I love Scottie. Like, that's my heart. That is my heart. I love him. I love the vulnerability. I love the openness. I love the realness. Like, he was dropping some nuggets. He was letting us know how we get it down. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I love you too. Love you too. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Next week, are y'all ready for the next episode? Good. So, before you go, we got the word value for today. The word value for today is, as you grow, do not forget the ones that help deep root you. Man, that's deep. Ooh. Thank you guys so much for being on in the comments. Like, I definitely appreciate it. I love you guys so much. Next week we end up like swimwear next Wednesday, episode 18, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. I love you guys, and I definitely always want to give major credit and humbleness to First Lady Bailey. Thank you again so much for letting me, giving me this opportunity to be on this platform of the She Is Still Dope network. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Until next time, we out. Gabe, you already know what to do. I love y'all. We out. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm.